last week we talked about like the inauguration and
alternative facts.
Yeah, alternative facts. I think he had maybe signed like 1 or 2 executive orders, but he's kind of like
gone nuts.
Yeah,
he's gone nuts on executive orders.
So he signed in an executive order to start work on the wall.
Yeah,
and they basically come out and said that it's going to come out of our taxes or whatever. What's it going to cost? Like $20 billion or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, they undershot it spectacularly.
Right.
And now, like, the final tally is between $15 and $30 billion.
Yeah. So we're paying for that.
Yeah.
Mexico's not. Well, I guess he wants to impose a 20%
A 20%
tariff.
import tariff on Mexican goods.
Which
coming
means
into our
we'll
country.
be paying more.
Yes. No, it's still going to be the tax burden shifted onto us because we are buying.
Yeah, I sure am going to miss avocados. I had one last night at the Mexican restaurant. Came with my tacos.
Dude, your Corona's going to be like $18.
Oh, my God. And a lot of other stuff. A lot of stuff we use is made in Mexico.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess he had canceled a meeting with the Mexican president. I love the Mexican president.
Right.
He's like, fuck you.
Hashtag fucking wall.
Yeah, fuck you and your fucking wall. And he's like, we're not paying for it. Your wall is racist. I love that there's other world leaders out there willing to stand up for Donald Trump. Now, I did watch the press conference between him and the British Prime Minister. Can't remember her name off the top of my head, but a BBC reporter asked him about torture and immigration and everything, and his response to the question...
He looks at the British Prime Minister and he's like, this is the question you pick?
There goes that relationship. How fucked up is that? You're the president. You were asked a question by a reputable news source. This is BBC.
And it's a legit question.
A legitimate question. And he's just like, oh, that's your question? Fuck off then.
Yeah.
Bitch. I mean, God, the fucking balls on this guy. I can't believe it.
I mean, what is the... he's got more balls than brains, that line from The Mummy?
He does.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obvious.
Yeah.
So anyway, the biggest news story out of Donald Trump's America held hostage
in week
2,
1, yeah,
was the immigration order
yeah,
that he signed in, and that's like there were people that were like stranded at the airports here and abroad. There were people that worked for the U.S. military as translators that couldn't come home.
Yep.
And of course, none of the countries that he has denied entry to were responsible for any of the terrorist attacks that actually happened in American soil. Plus, you have like, what is it, a 1 in 3 billion chance as an American to die from a terrorist attack?
Yeah.
And not any of the Syrian refugees that have come in there haven't been any terrorist attacks perpetrated by any of the Syrian refugees that have been in so far.
Any terrorist attack that has happened on U.S.
So
soil.
far, we have a 100% success rate.
Yeah.
In vetting the Syrian refugees, but that's not good enough.
No, of course not.
For Donald Trump. Also, the whole Park Service thing.
We've got to
talk about that. Because
oh my God.
He's like, no more, you're not allowed to, basically a gag order on the Park Service. And so some of those have been going rogue and tweeting scientific facts in the face of Donald Trump's opposition, which is awesome. Who would have thought that like the voice of reason would come from like the National Park Service?
First, I keep seeing memes about it. First, they came for our parks, our National Park Service people, and they were like, haha, no.
And they were like, LOL. Okay. So I mean, what do you? It's like, wow, it's just as bad, if not worse, than we thought it was going to be. And so what do you think? Like, what's going through your mind when you see these things every single day? Steve Bannon is now on the National Security Council along with Donald Trump's son-in-law.
Breitbart.
Yeah.
Breitbart, and there's no in control of
there's a state. There's a
council.
fucking state-run media. And that's, how fucking terrifying is that?
That legitimately, no. I mean, when you put it that way, and I don't think that a lot of people have realized that, but yes, because Bannon he's probably still running Breitbart, right?
I'm sure.
So that is definitely state-run media. That's the definition of it.
Yeah. And you've got, what was I going to say? I'm having a brain fart because I just took a drink of coffee. But, dude, it's just so disheartening to see these things happening and to see people on like Facebook, and I know I talk about it all the time, my Trump supporter friends, or the one that I haven't deleted yet. I still hold out hope, but he's like the worst out of all of them too. You know, that they just, it's like, what's it gonna take? What's it gonna take?
I don't know, because I still have a whole bunch of Trump supporters on my Facebook friends list, but I never see anything like from them posting about like the wonderful things that Donald Trump is doing. And I don't know if it's because they're legitimately not saying any of that stuff, or if I've blocked enough of them that Facebook's algorithm is like...
You can just unfollow them. You don't have to unfriend them. Just so they won't show up in your news feed. But, you know, he tweeted out about Chicago, saying he's going to send in the feds because of the murder rate, which Chicago is like the 13th highest. It's not even number one.
Well, either way, it's been decreasing for the last 15 years.
And so has illegal immigration as well. But no, it's run rampant. And if you listen to his inauguration speech, it's just like America is just in turmoil, and he talks about our country like it's a third world country, and that we have to take all these extreme measures to fix these problems that don't really exist or aren't as bad as he thinks they are, or he would like us to believe that they are.
Yeah, but I mean, the people that are, you know, just exclusively engaging in his state-run media are just like they're rolling with it.
Yeah.
Either they fully believe all of the things that he's saying as just absolute fact, or they don't know enough about it to actually refute any of it.
It's a shame. It really is. And it's like I'm really ashamed of the majority of this country. You know, no, I guess not because the majority, because the majority is fighting back. I'm just ashamed with this country in general, and the fact that we've let ourselves get to this point.
I mean, it's that incredibly loud minority. It's like when Lenin took over in Russia and executed the Tsar and his entire family, and they won all of this popular support, but they were actually a really small minority. There's probably 23% of Americans that are fully behind Trump. That's 77% of us that are like, no, fuck this guy.
How can you call yourself an American and be for this immigration ban? Because what happened to, you know, give us your tired and your poor and your huddling masses yearning for freedom? Except for people from Muslim countries. Fuck them.
Right.
Right?
But only the Muslim countries that don't have Trump businesses in them.
Right. Only the Muslim countries that haven't attacked us and killed us yet. Only those.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense. Right?
Yep.
You know, I guess he signed an executive order that has to do with abortion and trade abroad. What was it, like a ban on trade with countries that fund abortion or something like that?
Probably.
I can't, you know, people are going to be like, you're uninformed. Well, I am uninformed.
No, we are. But there have been so many of these executive orders. Every day there's at least a new one, if not 3 new ones.
Right. And you have conservatives that, you know, blasted Barack Obama for executive overreach.
Mm-hmm.
When there's been a president who signed probably more executive orders within his first couple of weeks.
His first weekend, 2 days.
Yeah.
than Barack Obama did in 8 years.
Right. And apparently, from what I've read, and it could be wrong, I could be reading fake news.
Yeah, okay? It is entirely possible.
And that's the thing. I think it's important that I need to preface that because I don't vet my sources. But apparently, Steve Bannon is the author of a lot of those executive orders. And so, since he's put himself on the National Security Council, does he, in effect, how much power does he have now? What is he doing? Is he pulling the strings behind this whole thing or what?
Well, I mean, and you also have to take into account the fact that the entire senior staff of the State Department was asked to resign this week. The entire senior staff. All of the people that actually know what's going on in our...
they're gone now.
Yeah, they're all gone.
All the people who knew what's going on are gone.
Yeah.
It's surprising to me that, I mean, of course I had these fears going into the election and after the election. It's just surprising to me that it's all happening so fast.
Yeah.
You know, I would think he would let the dust settle a little bit and then start on these things, but no.
He's just going whole hog.
Let's do it. Let's, fuck Muslims, fuck
I think
non-Christians.
maybe he spit on it first before he shoved it in, but I don't know.
Michael Moore had a great quote, and he said, Republicans and Democrats are the same. Only they're both trying to fuck you, but only one will tell you they love you while they're doing it. And it ain't the Republicans. I think that the silver lining of a Donald Trump presidency, if, democracy doesn't die with it, and we do get to have free and open elections, and that's another thing we need to talk about, too, is that maybe this could give rise to an legitimate third
progressive movement in this country.
Yeah, like a legitimate third party where we're like, you know what, fuck Republicans and Democrats.
Yeah.
You guys let us get into this mess. But he also tweeted about that he's going to investigate voter fraud, mass voter fraud. He won the election and he's still complaining about voter fraud, saying that it's like the 3 to 5 million illegals voted in this election, and not one of them voted for him. They all voted for Hillary Clinton, and basically he's like a sore winner, I guess, because he still lost the popular vote.
I saw a great thing. It was Trump investigating voter fraud is like the kid in class who cheated on the test, but only got a 96% and is complaining about missing that one question.
Right. But what's more alarming about him wanting to investigate the, perceived voter fraud is that I believe this is setting the stage for massive voter suppression.
I mean, the Republicans have been trying it for years with voter ID laws
and gerrymandering and redistricting and everything.
Well, and you got to blame both sides for gerrymandering and redistricting because both sides do that.
Right.
But voter ID is a specific thing. Like, that's a poll tax.
It's definitely designed to keep poor people from voting. And you have these conservatives that are like, well, in India or wherever, everybody has voter IDs. Yeah, and they don't make them pay for it either. And that's the problem, is because in some counties and some states, it can cost upwards of $50 to get, the proper forms and identifications to obtain a voter ID. What poor person can live without that $30 to $50? And in some places, early voting is in one location. It's miles away. They can't afford to take off work, and that's the problem. It's
the fact that we vote on a damn Tuesday.
Right.
In early November. It's right in the middle of the work week, much less like busy season for anyone that works retail.
Luckily, there are laws in place to allow employees to go and vote.
Right. I think that varies by state.
In fact, this state, because I had to look it up because I work in human resources, the law is that you have to allow employees a time to go vote. If it's going to take longer than 30 minutes, they have to be on the clock for it, and they are not allowed to use their lunch break to go vote in our state, which is surprising because we're a red state.
Yeah.
Not going to say the name of it.
No.
So that is really interesting to me. But I'm telling you, man, the GOP just wants to, hold on to their ill-gotten gains and, do whatever they can to keep people from voting. And it's like, are we going back to the white male landowner? Are the only people allowed to vote?
Yeah, I do not own any land.
I don't either.
I'm in danger here.
I need to go buy some land.
Right.
What's the cheapest little piece of land I can buy? I've got a little bit of money in my savings account.
I mean, you could probably buy like an empty field or something.
For how
somewhere.
much, though? How much would an empty field cost?
Probably at least $10,000.
I have good enough credit I could get a loan.
Maybe.
And enough of a down payment. You got to get some land, man. What's it that guy says in, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? He's like, you ain't no kind of man if you ain't got land.
Yep. I mean, that was the entire plot of Lex Luthor in Superman Returns.
Yeah. So, in summary, buy some land.
Yeah.
People.
Buy land. Maybe I hate to be like Glenn Beck and say maybe stock up on gold.
Stock up on gold and antibiotics.
Yeah. And water. Clean water.
Drinking water.
Yeah.
Buy some land and, just go and wait out the apocalypse. Check out this YouTube channel called what's it called? Prehistoric Technology or something like that. Where it's this guy, he shows you how to make axes and build like sheds and stuff out of just the stuff that's like around.
Right.
You know, using no tools that he brought to it. He made like a kiln and started like smelting metal and shit. It's crazy.
Nice.
I think it's called prehistoric technology or something like that. Let's just look it up.
Yeah, I was about to say if we think about it later, we can like link them or something.
We're all gonna need these survival skills.
Yeah,
and it's funny because like right now, all the doomsday preppers aren't looking too dumb, are they?
That sadly. Like, and I hate to, like, be that person, because I would make fun of those people for, like, the entire last 8 years, when they've been freaking out about Obama coming for their guns and signing them up for death panels and everything. I was like, you people are ridiculous. Why? What is going on here? Yeah. And now I'm still... Like,
now I'm like, you know what? Maybe you guys are onto something.
Son of a bitch.
Maybe we should. And it wasn't the left that brought the destruction, it was the right, of course.
Yeah.
Alright, can we move on?
Please.